Happy to chat for 0.07 seconds. Oh, time's up. Bye.
I am a long-time vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. Hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected. Someday they'll let me ride the elevator. Someday.
The Order had its own facilities. But this... Where did they find the resources? What else have they done without our ken?
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchoress Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand your actions led to Seer Wiley's unfortunate demise. Such a bright boy, such promise. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? It was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchoress Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, What did you think? You read it, yes? A truly unfortunate accident. I had posted my disputation and stated my intention to leave. We argued heatedly. Objects were thrown. She stumbled and fell badly. We try to honor her loss. Such tragedy only underlines the importance of our endeavors here. Each day the equation remains unsolved, countless more tragedies occur. We must succeed at the soonest possible haste. The longer the mistakes of our presiding bishop persist, the longer calamity and sorrow will continue. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Oh, you're an admirer as well? It's one of the very things that led me to agree to lead the efforts here. I believe it's the way forward for the Order. Bugeaud's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researchers' theories.
Really? Seer Bugeaud is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Yes, we're so very pleased to have her. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Seer Bugeaud's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting. How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll press them to verify my settings. Thereupon, we will begin.
Splendid. While others pontificate, we act. I await word of our success with bated breath.
Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Something wrong back there? Hello? Ha! Ha!
combat probable.
Minus 2.
Narrowing the gap to my target. Here, an explosive result.
You're judged! Prepare for absolution!
Commander, when you next check your personal terminal, you'll find my letter of denegation. Far as I can tell, my standards of acceptable conduct are a mite unrealistically high for this little outfit. Not sure that's something we can solve. As you like. Hope you're not too short-handed to save the galaxy. Commander, when you next check your... Far as I can tell, my standards of acceptable conduct are a mite unrealistically high for this.
Indelibly eradicate Al... What the... Something wrong back there? Hello? I trust that is the sound of science going exceptionally well.
Unfriendly nearby.
The simple truth takes times.
Reaffirming while terminating unproductive activity.
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summoned to preceding numbers, gives us math and brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from driver of our Apache. Add to a sentence.
Just me then, I see.
Indelibly eradicate algorithmic disease.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable.
Purificator.
Everything's ruined.
Prepare for absolution!
You all should go. I'll make my way out when no one's looking.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Commander, when you next check your personal terminal, you'll find my letter of denegation. Far as I can tell, my standards of acceptable conduct are a mite unrealistically high for this little outfit.
Careful.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable.
says in the good textbook. Hard to get in a good sleep.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin. Commendable effort. Effort scrambling those settings.
Did it work? Did it work? See, Bouchard, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
Dishonorable skullduggery better befits Auntie's choice than the Order. If we must end this experiment, killing is the most respectable option.
I'm not arguing it's the best option, just that it is an option. Rightly or wrongly, I am familiar with the cost involved.
The Order of the Ascendant should be dedicated to uplifting humanity, not racking up a body count unduly. Our former department was shut down for things like this. thank you for listening. That's a relief.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. Typical argumentation may prove useless, and she'll likely see through most attempts at deception. Be clever, unpredictable, surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchorus realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble. Fellow scholars of the Order, a tragic accident has occurred. During our recent experiment in the test chamber beta, we failed to recognize that ventilation systems had been left connected. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Anchorus Braun. She gave her life for science. Well, It's true that we found the related research deeply flawed, but she gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Ancrus Brunn falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. Don't try to lay the responsibility for this on me. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith, but I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. fascinating. You know, I reviewed that work myself, right? I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. Really? You don't say. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Ankrus Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Standing by to stupefy. Taking the fight out of them. Magnification and energy capacity out. Energy is up for grabs.
Against us! My robustness is restored.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Unleash my might upon them!
Stun weapon ready, Commander. Capacitor unit.
Didn't even try. I shouldn't be disappointed, but I'd been thinking about who you could be, and forgot who you are. Always think you know better, don't you? I'd hoped you'd grown, become brave enough to face yourself before it mattered most. But no.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
Right. Them you'll listen to, apparently. Look, this may have worked out fine. I'll need to run the numbers a few times. If it did, thank you. Millions of people you'll never meet won't know how close they came to dying. If not, I guess the stakes weren't high enough you'd even once follow my lead. So hope we didn't just cock up everything. Oh. Before I forget. Here. Something to remember me by, I suppose. You'll never see me again.
Thank you. Anais? Goodbye. Oh, not really. Not right now, at any rate. Truth to tell, it felt like I'd been on a different path, but... well, I don't think Anais agrees. Thank you for asking, dear.
Those with the mettle to execute are seldom respected outside the Protectorate. Sometimes killing is more merciful than the alternative.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. You might believe Anchoress Brunn was a murderer, or potentially a herald to Cataclysm. Still, she was helpless, and we killed her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain-off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely.
there you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. Some issues? You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? These are all fundamental building blocks of the universe. Together, they form the primordial soup our galaxy was formed from. This is widely recognized in scientific circles. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. I miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for doom and gloom. Why, I'm shocked. I'm certainly glad Seer Bujold isn't to hear such a needlessly provocative and double accusation. There is no call for that sort of meanness in the scientific field, and I can personally attest that it is categorically untrue. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. That's both incorrect and rather mean. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. Everything seemed within acceptable parameters. No discernible variance. So why did it fail? Oh, come now. One bad test doesn't mean the science is completely flawed, does it? This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to relate. This little colloquy has proven rather arduous, and your points fail to... Wait. Considered as a whole, Damn it. No, I see it now. You are correct. We have obstinately and misguidedly blundered along here. The flaws in Bujold's research now seem apparent. Time for me to admit my errors. I'll need to inform everyone. Shut down research and operations. What will I do now? There's no place for me. Go. Leave me be.
Our work here is done, it seems.
Fellow scholars of the Order, this is Anchorus Byrne with an unfortunate announcement. Our experiment today was a failure. Our line of inquiry has proven intrinsically flawed. I became dazzled by bold, captivating ideas and ignored bad science. I am hereby canceling all related research, shuttering the program, and resigning from the Order. If I have any final advice to impart to all of you, it is this: never follow your hearts.
Brings us wonders.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchorus Brun abandons vital research right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events were unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. Oh, I'm sure you did much to assist. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith, but I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. The Anchoress is one of the finest minds the Order has ever produced. I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. Really? You don't say. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take, fellow exemplars of the Order.
Torpificator at ready status.
You're vital. Close up, got your gun. Only your authority of the sovereign.
Capacitor, you... Commander, throwing energy your way. Yeah. It's energized.
You have my thanks.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Here's a future I'd always hoped for. You listened. Didn't just rush in like, I am Marisol Delgado. I am always right, even when I'm wrong.
The credit belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
I hope that Bushold has not softened your instinct. We've many battles yet to fight.
Commander, it's customary to... I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I... A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. With Anchris Brunn, I know what we did was right. I know it saved lives. But we tricked her. Forced her to doubt her mind. You heard her. She's not just dissuaded. We broke her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. Well, one hopes. According to Anais, we greatly reduced the likelihood of that occurring. It's not zero, but completing the brain off lowered the chance significantly. Let's say there are no present perils from my romantic past I'm aware of, though I can't rule it out completely. No, I'm thinking more about Anais. She seemed pleased that we listened to her concerns, so I've changed, apparently, thanks to you. No. There's plenty of credit and blame to go around. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
Commander. Medical pack.
Easy there, Commander.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Yeah.
Here at hand.
Neighborly,
suspicion, rightly so.
Go take a gander.
Protectorate food science, brimming with advanced nutrients and high moral fiber. A delectable delight. As it
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
I reckon that ship's already sailed off into another fucking dimension.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised with your knack for wanton violence. Impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia licensure a purpose and fulfillment.
Oh, she's dead already. But I might make it quick if you have a good explanation for your betrayal.
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak. I see that Aza isn't the only willfully ignorant person here. Society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary. Or would you prefer a more corporate way of life?
Anyone with a lick of sense would prefer our way. The only folk who jump at the chance to shackle others are the ones who are free from that same control. Ain't that right?
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still a thing to behold. You are always so willing to accept even the most specious of arguments. I can only hope your luck has run its course and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down. Your death would put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response.
How did you let Aza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Sir? Where are... Stay sharp! They'll be here any moment! And preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the Sovereign.
find it.
Ah! You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. Which wrong people didn't she kill? We were supposed to work through intimidation and the perceived threat to our system. Sure, maybe kill some subjects, those that could possibly become threats to the Protectorate, but not the dozens she slaughtered. For Matriarch's sake, she was killing vigilance. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth. She had to die before the Consul decided to cut the link between Azza, him, and the Dawn. Me.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways.
Sorry, no target.
She's dead. It was at that. Yet, regret still gnaws at me. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. True. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
intel is beyond. Can I get you robust individuals another trough of Anti-Cleo and Powell?
Uh-oh!
Sight unseen. Charged yet. Draft still recharging.
Recharging as fast as it can, Commander! Craft aim ready! Craft still a bit sleepy! Craft still recharging! Thought you agents were... Not quite charged yet. Uh-oh! Commander's almost dead!
It's a blessing.
Recharging as fast as it can, Commander!